welcome everybody back to the JV SportsRoom. As usual, your host, JDino, the other half of the team behind the scenes, my man Vince.
You.
Got him back in the Kobe corner.
Yes, sir.
My man J Money, welcome back to the show.
Hey, you already know.
And in the other corner, somebody I happen to know quite well, very talented individual, president and CEO, JM3 Productions. I'd like to welcome to the show my man Joey. What's up, baby?
What's up, man?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming. Hey, man. So, football fan? Basketball fan?
Yeah, oh yeah. Both.
All right, so you're in the right place, man. So we're going to start off with some football, man. Tell us about your favorite NFL squad, man.
Well, I don't like to bring this up because my team is trash. But I like the Jags.
You're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, huh?
Man, how'd that happen?
Back in the day, Fred Taylor, he played for the Gators, man.
Respect. Now, you can respect that. Great players like Fred Taylor, I mean, they don't have much of those nowadays, do they? I mean, are they contenders or,
Who contender?
No. Jacksonville Jaguars are a contender. I just want to, hey, look, you can feel certain ways about your team. I mean, but how's their future look?
The future now, to be honest with you, I don't see much of a future with them, with the coach, Urban Meyer.
Okay.
You gotta go.
Because what he's win now right now. So they have to either get a bunch of free agents and become really good really fast, or in 2 years he's gone. I don't see a future in their team right now.
Understood. They got a lot of young pieces over there.
They got a couple young pieces, but they're not ready to win. And so I don't see a future. I don't see him building the talent or building the camaraderie or building the culture for them to be good in the future. So to me, I feel they need to just get a bunch of free agents and come together and win now, because he's not going to be there. He's not going to be there for 20 years. He's not going to be there for 10 years. He's not going to be there for 5 years.
I don't think with his track history in college, the way he's been, he's been great in college, right?
He was great in college, but he was bouncing from place to place. He with the Gators, he was there. They were great. Oh, now he's sick. Now he's doing analyst, and then he went from that to Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were dead. I thought you were dying. You know what I mean?
Right. I was never a fan of him coming into the NFL.
Then he goes from Ohio State, and they're at the top of the totem.
Correct.
And he goes from that, and he quits for health reasons, and then he goes to Jacksonville.
But he healthy enough to be vibing up in the bars, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're right. So like I said, with the future, I don't see much of a future with them until they move on from him.
Yeah, understood. It's not the talent. They've got some talent over there, huh?
It's not so much
like the QB game.
Or the QB is all right. I really can't assess it because I don't see him trying to make him better, because they're not there. He's not there. The coach isn't there.
Understood. So until they really change it up top, they're probably gonna struggle for a while.
Yeah, they'll probably, like I said, they'll probably get some free agents within next year and be good, but that's not how you build a future in the NFL. You have to start with draft picks, supplement with the free agency. And I don't that's not how they're going to do that. So the future is probably like how it was with Blake Bortles. They won really quick, then the next year just fell off.
That's tough. So I mean, your team's not really contending right now, but there are a lot of good teams that, are really in the mix right now. I mean, there's a few divisions that are really up for grabs nowadays.
Right,
I mean, let's start with, that AFC, with the Ravens and the Browns, the Steelers and the Cincy. It seems like they keep beating up on each other.
Well, that's a back and forth division.
Yeah.
They always go from best to worst, and really the worst team is winning 7-8 games
every year.
You know
right?
what I mean? That's not really a worst team. That's a pretty
competitive division every single year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, the Ravens beat the Browns on Sunday Night Football. Then the Steelers beat the Ravens. Questionable playing call. To Tell me how you feel about that. I mean,
honestly, man, at that point, man, you got to trust your defense in that position. Take that, just tie the game, man. Take that 1 point. But I get it. Because it's a division game. You're trying to make that. You're getting caught up in the game. It was a grind. Just like anytime Pittsburgh and Baltimore play, it's always going to be a grind. Them boys are going to be fighting between the gridirons all day. But I understand the statement aspect of it to try to go ahead and put that curtain on the game and go for that too, but gotta trust your defense. But it kind of shows that throughout the season that Baltimore's defense hasn't really been A1. You know what I'm saying? They got holes in their defense, so it kind of showed that coach try to go for the win because he was concerned about defensively, can we hold them down if we took this game to overtime and we didn't win that coin flip or whatever the case be.
Understood, man. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm disappointed in Harbaugh on that call.
Yeah, I'm with
that
you.
win could have gave him the lead in the AFC. It could have given him the lead in the AFC sole possession of it, to be honest with you, at this point in time. Which means what? They get the bye in the first week, right?
Yeah, I mean, still some weeks left, but
there's time left. But that was a huge loss.
It was a huge loss.
They gave that one up.
I don't question the play call though.
No,
because it worked. It was, football's a game of inches, and it was just an inch off.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they called a play and it was terrible. That play had no chance of working. That play was there to be made. It just didn't work out for them.
It was a questionable play call.
Yeah, if they got it, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Right.
But they didn't get it.
Had that pass been,
but
an inch this way, he would have called it and would have been like, man, that was a gutsy call. He went for it. That's big time. You know what I mean? That's how you win.
Right.
That shows he got the Sam Cassell's.
It's literally a game of inches.
It is, literally.
I mean, and
respective rivalry, though.
Those inches, I mean, could they have possibly cost them the division? I mean, the Bengals are right behind them.
Division was always a toss-up anyways because just how well those teams are put together, how well they play.
Bengals took a tough loss to the Chargers this week.
They did. Anyway. The Chargers are really good, though. They got Justin Herbert, and they got a slew of weapons on the offensive end with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. So losing to them, it's not a bad loss.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a shock.
They're going to take a loss next week. They're going to take a loss next week because, my squad ain't too happy about what happened this past Sunday. So we ready for y'all Bengals, man. Come see us.
Oh, man.
Come on, come see them Niners.
The Niners got the Bengals this week?
Yeah, we got the Bengals, man.
All right,
But I expect Burrow to put some work, man. We took a loss with man Mosley. We're going to be missing him. So now we got Josh Norman, Kawhi Williams out there in the secondary. So our secondary has always been questionable. But, we just got to keep up with the offense. That's the key.
Very true. Very true.
Maybe control the game on the run, but we might not have Elijah this week neither as well. He in the concussion
Hopefully get Debo back, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Debo, and we need Fred Warner back out there, man. That dude is arguably probably one of the best linebackers in the league.
You guys definitely missing some key pieces. Yeah. Staying in that AFC, though, that division, pretty much a toss-up at this point in time. But, while we're still in that division, I want to touch on something that, was addressed just recently. Big Ben. Looks like he's on his final tour.
We've seen it coming though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the digression, right?
Yeah.
Any memories you guys want to touch on, man? I mean, he's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? It's safe to say.
Yeah, he is. With that second Super Bowl, and they won it because of him, I think, huge first ballot, yeah.
Yeah.
I think with Ben, though, one thing we got to remember about him is his toughness, right?
Yeah.
Always.
I can remember 2 games that back in 2010, they was playing Baltimore. They both was 8-3, right? And this was a big game going this late in the season, take over that division. Going back to what you're saying, that division is always...
Yeah, it's always...
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And Ben broke his nose 3 minutes into the game. Came back out there, finished the whole game, threw a game-winning touchdown, put them on top of the division. Then the following year, another division game playing Cleveland, right? Broke his ankle in the second quarter. My man came back out after halftime. It was a 7-3 game throughout for the majority of the game. And, y'all Pittsburgh fans probably remember what I'm talking about when I'm saying this stuff. But then the fourth quarter was less than 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. It was still 7-3. 80-yard bomb, 80-yard joint to AB. You know, it was like a little route. Probably went about 30 yards.
Touchdown.
AB did the rest. And and my man was lipping throughout the whole second half. So I think one thing we got to say about Ben, man, he's not soft, man. That dude played with a level of toughness.
Question his toughness.
That you can't. And I mean, literally, I remember going back to the Baltimore game, going to the sideline. My man's nose, you saw his nose was broken. It was like, you know, it was just shifted in ways like, yeah, your joint's done. Yeah. You know?
got to pay dues, man. The respect that, you know, he's earned is you know, unmatched. My favorite moment of his, I mean, it's probably a lot of Pittsburgh's fans' favorite moment. The corner touchdown to Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, that
was, the tiptoe,
that's
right?
my favorite moment as well.
Oh man, it's hard to forget that one. I mean,
I was going for Arizona that game.
Yeah, man. I was hoping Fitz would get in.
That was a great game too, because it was back and forth.
It was.
That's one of my favorite. The main thing I remember about Big Ben is just him being a statuesque quarterback. You try to grab him, he shrugs you off. If he needs to make a play outside the pocket, he was a little bit nimble enough, even with his big size, to get out and make that big play.
Yep.
A lot of quarterbacks can't do the things that he do.
Very true. Very true. I mean, does he have a possibility at a third one this year?
No,
not quite, right?
Not quite. They're tough though, but
it's tough, man. I mean, he's got a lot of teams in the AFC that are there, that are in the way, right? Yeah. You know, a couple of them
in his division
that we should touch on. Jay Money,
tough
man. You've been talking about these guys all season.
Tell you, man.
And man, they're just shrugging some of the best teams off of them at this point in time, right?
Yeah,
man, talk to me about them New England Patriots, man. Bill Belichick is a mastermind for sure.
Mastermind. I mean, the respect got to be given to him. My man just knows how to take a squad, and no matter what the pieces are there, he'll make it work for his system. But that's why not everybody can come into New England and just be a star year one like that, or be able to come in week one and just do what you have to do. That playbook, you're just not going to learn it. You know, you gotta be one of them little dudes that can do a Rubik's Cube in like 30 seconds to understand that playbook. You know what I mean? That's the truth. And so they got a 7-game win streak, longest win streak right now in the league. And they took out Tennessee the week prior, took out Buffalo now, which, you know, took the lead.
Two of the top teams supposedly in the AFC, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee and Buffalo, huge wins.
Yeah.
And one consistent thing you can see in all of these wins is that defense, man.
Yeah,
that defense is holding them down.
It is. Holding them down.
And I mean, you know, when it comes down to Belichick, you know he's going to have a good defense. You know he's going to have a good, you know, run game. That ground and pound. How about this Monday night game against Buffalo?
Oh man, I mean the wind was crazy over there. I mean, I was watching the pregame, and the kickers was trying to shoot do little 30-yard field goals. I mean, I'm talking about like
wide
15
right,
yards
right?
wide right.
Sheesh.
So, you know, they had to play the ground and pound game, and they did it effectively. You know, I think that was smart on Belichick to not put that pressure on Mac Jones and just trust his run game, trust his defense, and which goes back to the Baltimore situation we talked about. Gotta trust your defense no matter how crazy the game is going to be. But, you know, he did that. And I think, you know, it was effective. Damian Harris had, you know, that was the game changer. Yeah, that broke out 64 yards.
Early.
That was 64, I believe, right?
Yeah.
But
huge run. I mean, Mac Jones only threw 3 passes the entire game.
Yeah,
that's unheard of.
That's it.
You gotta
but that also showed you how much they trust in Ramondre Stevenson as a rookie, man.
I like that kid, man.
Behind Damian.
Yeah.
I like that kid. He was effectively running the ball.
Yeah.
He really was. I mean, they knew the run was coming every time.
Right.
And they still couldn't stop the man.
I want to say they couldn't stop it. It was really effective at moving the ball and just keeping the field position in their favor.
I agree.
So that not so much because the time of possession was only 5-minute difference.
Okay.
But it was the field position that mattered. So that when Buffalo did get the ball, that they would have had to drive the field in that wind.
Very true.
That neither team could do.
Yeah.
Very true. They played the Pats beat Tennessee and Buffalo back-to-back weeks, and next they play your other sleeper team that you're really high on, them Colts. You got the Pats and the Colts next.
Ooh, that's tough, man. You know, low-key the Carson Wentz, man, my man's only throw 5 interceptions to, like, I believe 23, 24 touchdowns right now, which the only person that has a better touchdown-interception ratio right now is Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. I was going to give Rodgers.
Yeah, so, you know, I think that connection, him getting back with his old coach that actually was in Philly when he got drafted as a rookie, it's been a great look for him. But that's tough, man. That's tough. Well, I don't know.
You gonna have to tell me right now who you got. Pats and the Colts. Who you got?
Is going to be ground and pound?
Yeah, if it's going to be ground and pound. That's what I was going to say. If it's going to be ground and pound, I'm going to have to take Jonathan Taylor.
If we grounding and pounding, you might have to take the best running back in the league right now, right?
MVP candidate right now.
And the defense, Colts defense is not soft now. You know what I mean? They got players out there that will. Darius Leonard, like I said, when I talk about arguably like best linebackers in the league, you know, he right there with Fred Warner and all that.
Very true.
You know, he's a dog. He's
very
a dog.
True.
On the field.
It looks like this game really isn't going to come down to the quarterback. It's really going to come down to the defense and that run game.
Yeah, I think so. But at the same time, you know, it just depends how, you know, it's all about the game planning. Like when we think about Belichick and we talk about the defense, it's about the game plan. You see that film work is real important. And when you bring that over into that field on Sunday, that matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm sure he's gonna have them watching heavy film on how they incorporate that run game with JT and how, you know, to make sure Pittman or nobody else get loose and try to defensively play their right game. But it's gonna be a good game. Something I'm definitely gonna watch.
Yeah. I think we'll all be tuned into it. Another team in that same division that has kind of had people tuned in lately. I mean, anybody talking about the Miami Dolphins? They're on a 5-game winning streak right now.
They are.
They beat the Carolina Panthers last week, where Cam only completed 5 of 21 passes and had 2 interceptions. All right?
The 7 passes completed there.
Yeah. What does that tell you about Cam and these Carolina Panthers, first of all? I mean, they went into this week with a bye. I mean, how do you feel about them going forward?
They are without their best player, with McCaffrey hurt. So you got to take that into account. But Cam is cooked, and that's really all there is to it. Like, he was never an efficient thrower. He was really just a big play guy, and he can't make the big plays anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I didn't wear these Carolina Panthers. I was actually representing Beast Mode. This has nothing to do with Carolina.
Okay.
Right. He calls up a Giants fan.
Hey, man, hold on, man. I don't even want to touch on that because the Miami Dolphins actually just beat the Giants this week. We didn't have Daniel Jones. Let me go on record to say that.
So
no Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes would have made a difference?
Danny Dimes probably would have helped us win that game against the Miami Dolphins. I mean,
man, listen.
Look, man, we're not here to talk about my Giants right now. It was an ugly loss. We're here to talk about these Miami Dolphins.
I don't know if it was an ugly loss because Miami's won 5 in a row. So I think there are no easy games in the NFL. Danny Dimes would not have helped because he would have turned the ball over. So you feel like these Miami Dolphins are for real then? I mean, I think
is it the Tua effect? I mean,
I don't know if it's the Tua effect. I think the coach understands how to win, and sometimes it just has to be playing really good defense and just keeping the ball away from the other team. Sometimes it has to be like Tua threw the ball upwards of 30 passes this game.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it does have to take that high flying attack to win, even though Tua is more of a dink and dunk.
Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. So you have to win however you win. I don't think Danny Dimes would have helped the Giants win though. He has the most turnovers in the league.
You know, because we took a week off, so I want to make sure I mention for all my Philly fans, all right, that we did have a nice, impressive win the week before against Philly. 4 turnovers. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey, yo, Philly, that must hurt.
Yeah, Philly.
That must hurt.
But all right, so I like what Miami's doing. Do you see a nice future in them? You see maybe them sneaking into the playoffs here? I mean, they're a couple games out at this point in time.
Let me check this standing.
They 2 games behind. They 2 games behind.
Out of the playoffs. I mean,
hey, if I'm the city of Miami and I'm a fan, y'all keep talking about how much you want Deshaun Watson because y'all motivating that boy to it, man.
Yeah,
y'all motivating that boy to it. Yeah,
fact.
You can win with Tua. I don't know if you can be great with Tua.
I mean, you got arguably one of the best cornerbacks on your defense right there in Xavier Howard, man.
Yeah,
that boy's
he's really
nasty.
good. Yeah,
definitely.
Nasty.
A great young defense for sure.
Yeah, they got young pieces
there. The question is, how far can Tua take you?
I don't see them actually making the playoffs this year. I think this is encouraging for what they're doing.
Right.
I mean, this is a great look for them. They still got, I believe, I don't know the amount of draft picks, but one thing Miami's organization has done is really flexed how they move these picks over here and accumulated them from year over year. You know what I'm saying? On some hand over fist type thing. And so I think I want to say they have 2 first next year, but I might be off. But regardless, they got a lot of they continue to keep themselves and build that team up right through the draft. They're not really bringing in free agents like that. I love to see them address that backfield next year. Mm-hmm. They need somebody that can come in there and just really take over on that backfield.
I mean, we like Myles Gaskin. He's a nice,
I don't think he's
receiving back, but he's not a
he's a complimentary back to
a
guy that's going to move the chains, run between the tackles, no matter what.
Agreed. And you mentioned that young boy Waddle.
Yeah, that's the piece, yo. He's the answer at the wide receiver spot.
He is. He does it all on the field for them. So Miami, not really making the playoffs this year, but
they'll make it tough for other teams to make it to the playoffs.
Okay.
Which is actually good.
It should, especially in that conference.
Yeah.
Switching over to the other conference though, there were a lot of wild card and big playoff implication games that just passed in these last couple weeks. The Niners beat the Vikings last week. Yeah. Your Niners.
Yeah.
But then we take an ugly loss to Seattle this week.
Yeah, but you know what? Respectfully, I gotta stand. I'm not biased when it comes to this. I see the writing on the wall. And coming into this week, great win over Minnesota. We went shot for shot with them and we pulled it off at the end. But, not having Debo, not having Fred Warner, going into Seattle, that 12th man, you got to respect them, and Seattle's been playing really, really horrible.
I think they were due.
That's what I felt. Like Russ, at the end of the day, Russ is Russ at the end of the day.
Russ got tired of the JV SportsRoom calling him Rusty.
That's what it was. That's what it was, right? So I called it, JDino could tell you, man, I remember having a conversation early week. I was like, I don't think my boys are going to pull this win this week.
Okay. Nah, this is true. This is true. Another team in that division that seemed to have bounced back this week, even though they played the Jags. But, last week, the America's game of the week was the Packers and the Rams. Packers beat the Rams pretty easily, if you ask me, right?
Yeah, they were up on them. Yeah, they got up on them quickly and just went ahead and held on to the win.
Yeah. But to the Rams note, I think, coming off the bye, you lose Robert Woods and stuff. You got a new player on offense. I think it's, then they're trying to acclimate Von Miller to the defense. I think it was a lot for them to really just put it all together, and the bye just wasn't enough. They needed an actual game to see if what they did in the bye can actually transition on the field.
Agreed.
So they pull off a win this week.
But I got to say, it's easy to take out the trash. The Jags are trash. beating the Jags is not.
Mentioned that early in the show.
Yeah, that doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, it doesn't prove.
It's good for your morale that you won. You played really well. It's easy to take out the trash.
Yeah.
I do that.
So the Rams just did a house chore this week.
Yeah. Take out the garbage.
They just took out the garbage.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
They took out your trash Jags, and but I mean, are the Rams your Super Bowl pick though, or maybe Green Bay? You got the Bucks. I mean, who you like this year?
If I was picking, it would be Green Bay.
You like Green Bay?
I think they got the run game. They got Aaron Rodgers. They got Devontae. They got, and their defense, which has usually been their Achilles heel, has been really
Much
stout.
improved.
Making plays when they need to make plays.
Yeah, Alexander.
Stuffing run games, stopping passing, stuff that they were not able to do previously that Aaron Rodgers was overcoming. Now he's winning with them. So if I had to pick, I'd say Green Bay.
It's what he needed,
Yeah.
right? So you're picking Green Bay to win it all. Green Bay's winning your Super Bowl.
Is Green Bay.
So you see an NFC championship game between Green Bay and Tampa?
Tampa or Arizona. Yeah.
Nice.
Arizona's really good. They won without Murray. So if you can win without your best player, you're really good.
That means you got enough pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, James Conner has been a low-key piece for them this year, right?
I mean, he's a good pickup because he's a solid player.
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as you're not putting the whole weight of the team on him, then he's really good.
He's a good compliment to Kyler, especially in the red zone. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think Edmonds is going to be back either this week or next week.
Yeah,
so they can use that.
Yeah, they could definitely use that. I mean, James Conner. I mean, looks like he might be one of the guys you might be looking at in the Pro Bowl this year, maybe.
I think respectfully, you got to give it to him, man. You know, a lot of squads is not good. A lot of teams that have players that's going to be in the Pro Bowl. Depends who makes it to the Super Bowl. They're not going to appear, obviously, because it's the week before, right?
Right, of course.
So I think Conner, respectfully, you got to give him that vote. I mean, he should be in there, man. And considering his life story, what he's been through, defeating cancer and all that stuff, and all the injuries he had to deal with in his career, to have this type of season, man, I think that's just all due respect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
And any other names that are like just obvious Pro Bowlers for you this year?
JT, Mixon is having a great year.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
I think we're going to see some rookies in there like Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
Waddle should be in there. You know, as far as rookies, some of these rookies out here. Kyle Pitts, I mean, he's third in receiving yards for a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know.
Remember, I told you about Kyle Pitts before the season.
You did. You were a big fan of him.
Yeah.
But you mentioned JT. That's easy money going in.
That's
as far as
money,
Pro Bowl this year, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
back in the league.
Colts took a tough loss last week to the Bucks. You know, speaking of JT and the Colts, took a tough loss last week to the Bucks. Former Jag Leonard Fournette reeled off 4 touchdowns.
I mean, who saw that coming? Yeah,
maybe he makes his way into the Pro Bowl this year. I mean, Leonard Fournette reemerging as a Pro Bowler, maybe.
He looks like a Pro Bowl, even though I don't get into the Pro Bowl because there's so many players that opt out. You know, like if you're older, you're not going to the Pro Bowl, so you opting it out. They get replacement. So Pro Bowl is not really that big of a deal for me. Maybe All Pro. He's not gonna be All Pro. All Pro means that you're the best of the best.
Correct.
Like you're cream of the crop. You're not. Pro Bowl just means you were around when they were giving out trophies.
Yeah. I mean, really, Pro Bowl is all about numbers and numbers. I mean, numbers are really for fantasy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so let's touch on a little bit of fantasy football then, right?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you in some fantasy football, Jay?
I'm in fantasy football.
Hey, you making the playoffs?
I'm teetering. I'm teetering, but I think I will make the playoffs. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
only 4 teams in my league made the playoffs, though. So.
Okay. So you in a tougher league.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what's some nice pieces that have got you there? And might
piece that got me there and
possibly
has taken me out is Christian McCaffrey.
You there.
Number 1 overall pick.
And take you out at the same time, huh?
Had him 2 weeks, best player in the league. Then what? Pulled the hamstring. Came back, then what? Out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, man, it's tough. We've mentioned him a couple times and how it's tough to even pay for him in fantasy. You don't know, what kind of price he's worth at this point in time. And,
exactly.
when you decide to put all your eggs in his basket in the first round of a lot of your drafts,
although a lot of the top running backs have gotten hurt.
Situation, right?
Derrick Henry's gotten hurt. Dalvin Cook got hurt. Those were the picks around that I were going to make. I picked Chris McCaffrey because he's a do-it-all back, and I figured, he'll be good this year. So in his defense, running back is a position where you will see a lot of injuries.
Absolutely.
That's something you cannot.
It's hard to avoid that.
Can't avoid it.
Can't avoid it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
can't
I mean,
avoid it.
and considering they had an extra game this year, you're not going to find too many teams having a whole workhorse mentality when it comes to that.
Because of running back, yeah. You would rather dole it out to multiple backs. That way you don't have that one back getting beat up the whole season, because they will get beat up. The defenders will hit him.
It's going to
You got 11 players coming after you every time you get the ball.
Yeah, they
It's not like
put a heck of a workload on him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I guess it's easy to say Christian McCaffrey, as you said, could easily win it for you
or lose it.
Or lose it for you.
Yeah.
Man.
I tell you, the guy, though, that I'm excited for that I got in one league where I think it's going to be a difference maker when it comes to this fantasy playoffs, man. Hey, y'all seen the film this past Sunday. Javonte Williams, he about to be that piece, man.
Yeah.
If you don't got him in Dynasty, it's too late. You're not going to get him probably from the person who has him. But
now that's why I wore the hat. That boy is part of beast mode status, right? He looked like a young Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, with a little touch of Levy on that passing game, which my boy Sean actually told me. I said, respect to that, man. I kind of dig that.
Most broken tackles in the league, but at the same time, could catch the ball out of the backfield. It's a nice combination of Marshawn and Le'Veon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, can't go wrong with a Javonte Williams late in the season.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I think Javonte Williams is going to be that
Melvin
dude.
Gordon's
it just
beat
depends,
up too.
Yeah, it depends on what's going on with that. I think at this point, let's see, the Broncos, they're not in, they're only a half game behind, I believe, in the playoff standings. But I think at this point, Melvin's not going to be there next year, right? So I think at this point, you really just seen what you saw out of him this past game, just the way he was effective between the tackles, the way he just was able to, Teddy was able to check down to him and he made the most of it. You got to just continue with that, man. Yeah. Just really say like, yo, this is our future back here. Yeah, I think a good fantasy tip is, just watch out for a lot of those young guys the second half of the season on losing teams, right? Because, this is when a lot of those teams are going to turn to them and see what they got for their future, right? Yeah. So stash Brevin Jordan. You never know what they're going to do in Houston. They might want to see more of him. Find you a nice young rookie piece or two, right? Yeah. All right. And good luck to you guys in your fantasy leagues the rest of the season, all right? For sure. Appreciate it. Let's all make money.
Yeah. Let's make money. It's belt.
All right. So as usual, we're going to cross over into basketball, talk about the NBA a little bit. My man, Joey, I see you don't really rock hats like that, man, but we got a little special gift from the JD Sports team that we like to, get you a little classic tip-off shirt for you there, if that's cool.
That's cool. That's cool. Man, that's cool. I like that.
All right, well, welcome to the team, Joey.
Yes,
basketball fan, right?
Of course.
I mean, who you like, man? You got a specific team you like? Specific player, maybe?
I'm a LeBron James fan.
LBJ.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Respectable. I mean, sound good coming from the Kobe corner.
I respect that, all day.
All right.
It's funny in my history, man. I wasn't a big LeBron guy, because I was all Kobe all day. Come on now, when the whole Kobe LeBron talk was going on, but he became a Laker. He became. We gave him the application, whatever. He signed up, and we accepted him in the organization. So I rock with him now.
All right, so you rock with LeBron a little bit, man. Hey, coming from somebody who really rocks with LeBron, though. I mean, you got any specific moments that you want to take us back on?
Several moments. Mostly in the playoffs. Him averaging 30 and 10 in Miami every game almost.
Yeah.
Game 6 versus the Celtics when he had 45 and 10. But of course, the ultimate LeBron highlight would be the block in Game 7.
Andre Iguodala.
He got him.
Out
of nowhere too.
What? Man, high off the glass.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, as a Laker fan, watching a few LeBron games nowadays, any specific moments that really stand out to you?
I mean, that finals in the bubble was nice to me. Go ahead and 4-2 over Miami. Equal up to Boston with 17. You trying to get 18 to be the best in the league, when it comes historically. But in that finals, man, he averaged close to 30 buckets a game, 12 rebounds a game, and 8.5 dimes. I mean, he was just all around just being dominant there, consistent. And considering what they had all these players had to go through in that bubble, you know, with the effects and the change being with the fam. I mean, it wasn't easy, you know, so it was all about the mental aspect behind it. And to me, I think LeBron just really, you know, he came in rough first year in LA and just came into the bubble and just really did it for us.
Took over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say that we knew what we were getting from LeBron James from day one, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he came into this league on such a high horse, man, and he really showed it, you know, his rookie season, right? Averaged 20 points, I believe 8 rebounds, 8 assists his rookie season. You know, it's impressive. One of the main MVP candidates, you could say, every single year. I mean, somebody that I like personally this year that's starting to come to light is Trae Young. I mean, how you feel about his MVP candidacy? I mean, is he, you know, a top 3 point guard nowadays? I mean, how are we feeling about Trae Young, these Atlanta Hawks, this winning streak that they seem to be on lately? I mean, any interest in Trae Young nowadays?
Yeah, Trae Young is an excellent point guard. Top 3 point guard, I would put him up there with Curry and CP3, also Ja Morant. So somewhere in there, that's top 3. You can take out whichever one you want, but those would be my top point guards in the league right now.
Yeah, man, that boy Ja, I mean, he's really making a statement this year, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I like the Ja pick. I mean, when you think about playing efficiency, Ja's actually 3rd in the league right now when it comes to playing efficiency. You got Curry and you got Young, so it all kind of lines up with what you're thinking and everything else. And, you know, but one player I think that we also got to keep in mind from a point guard perspective being that, you know, if you look at playing efficiency and where it's at right now, I mean, LaMelo Ball is 6 right behind Luka and CP3.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to give respect to the young boy, man.
Yeah.
We see
he's good.
We see who's the best ball out of that family. You know what I'm saying? All that balls in that family.
Well, they said that, though.
I like LaMelo balling over there.
Yeah. And you got to think about it. If you look at you know, when I say top 6, you know, when you think about Curry, when you think about Trae, you think about Morant, you know, Trae was you know, he came out of 2018 class. Ja came out of 2019 class, and you got Luka and CP3, right? But then, you know, LaMelo, this is his 2nd season, so he's making a name for himself, man.
I agree. I mean, somebody who's kind of transitioning to a point guard nowadays. I mean, how we feeling about James Harden? He's not in this top 3, you know, point guard conversation nowadays.
I wouldn't put him up there. I think he's been exposed with the lack of foul calls being given or not given. So players can get really up into his body, and he lacks the explosiveness to blow past anybody. So he really lived off of creating that contact, getting to the foul line. Now you can't get up on him. Now he can shoot, and it's not working for him this year. So I wouldn't put him up there in the top 5 or 6, maybe top 10, maybe. Well, I would put him top 10, but I think he's been exposed this year.
I hear you.
He would have to step it up for me.
I've never been a James Harden fan. I think just from a fan perspective, watching the game, like watching James play, yeah, he has his games he blows up, but it's just, to me, it's boring watching it. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I think you know what you're going to get at.
Yeah, right? It kind of gets old, right?
Yeah, it gets old. You know, I mean, just from that perspective, I've just never been the type of fan that could, you know, of the game to just sit there and watch James all day. Like, it's like,
that's true. Yeah,
done.
I hear you. I mean, somebody who doesn't get old though, man. I mean, he's been out for a couple games now, but somebody who I like you mentioned was Ja Morant, man. He's got those Memphis Grizzlies in 4th in the West right now.
Yeah.
5-game winning streak.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's mainly without Ja. I mean, how do we feel about these Memphis Grizzlies come playoff time and, you know, later on in this season?
I don't know if they're going to be able to hold that top 4 spot. They'll be a tough out, though. So they'll give you all you can handle.
Type of
probably take you 6 games. I don't know if they take you 7. They're still young. They're probably a piece away, a veteran away from establishing themselves as one of the top tier teams. Mm-hmm. But they'll be a tough out, though. You have to really put your work in on them.
They're the type of squad that if you're the 1 or 2 seed, you don't want to see them in the first round.
Right, yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Right. Not at all. Speaking of 1 or 2 squad, it seems like Phoenix and Golden State really going back and forth nowadays. I mean, Phoenix beat Golden State for the best record in the NBA to extend their 18-game winning streak a couple games ago, but then Golden State didn't like that too much, came back and smashed them in the Bay, right?
Right,
I mean, what's going on over there? I mean, is that looking like a possible Western Conference Finals?
That's what it looks like to me. That's exactly what it looks like to me. Both teams are very consistent, play excellent defense, excellent team ball. You can't really see a hole in any team. So I believe that would be more than likely the winner of that. I would say would be the NBA champion.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So you think either Phoenix or Golden State could take out anybody in the East?
Anybody in the East, yeah.
Interesting. I mean, hey, Laker fan.
Yeah,
I mean, he hasn't mentioned the Lakers at all in this whole,
I know.
championship conversation. No
I'm
interlude
not,
here at all?
I'm not counting out my squad at all. You know, I'm biased when it comes to the Lakers. Y'all already know that. I said that in shows before, but you know, as long as we in there, I know we can make a run for anything. I mean, we 500 right now. I know we struggle to win 2 games, like Ben Simmons can't hit 2 free throws in a row. But it is what it is. We going, you know, I think there's still a lot of work to do when it comes to LA, and just, you know, we just gotta get in the playoffs, man. That's it. And you know, you're not gonna sleep on us.
No, not at all.
So we more than the big 3. Like, you know, from a previous guest on the show, our homeboy Nelly, you know, he said we a big 4. You know, you got Carmelo back there. We got other folks back there. So I just think once they all get that together, man, we're going to be all right, man. You know, we're going to be all right. I want us to get 18, man.
Yeah,
we got to get 18.
I hear you.
Just be on top of it. It's like, you know.
Yeah, you pulling for it. I can tell, man.
Yeah.
You know, I think Big J mentioned it a couple shows back. The cream does always tend to rise to the top, right?
Yeah,
and it seems like that's happening nowadays. You know, Brooklyn, Chicago, Milwaukee, Miami, rounding out the top 4 in the East, right? While Golden State, Phoenix, Utah, your Grizzlies, you know, then we got Clippers, Lakers, Mavericks, you know, at the top of the West.
You know,
it definitely seems like a lot of those teams that are supposed to make the playoffs are starting to round out. Anybody that you see out of it right now that could potentially be in there come playoff time?
You know, one team that outside of what you're saying that he did mention that I got to give respect to the homie Jay, man. He says it's time for the Timberwolves to really put that together and get, you know, make that run for it. And they're actually, you know what I'm saying, they're 9th right now. So they're in that bubble aspect. It's still early. We got a long season ahead of us. But I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm keeping an eye on the Timberwolves if they can actually maybe slide a spot in there. And I'm like, you know, that's a good call.
Anthony Edwards is playing some great ball right now.
He got heart, man.
I think we mentioned him last week on the show with Nelly, and
he's
him possibly being an all-star this year.
But Milwaukee, obviously, they looking right, 9-1 in the last 10. So, you know, they getting together.
Yeah, I agree with you with the Milwaukee pick. They're going to be a real tough out. You know, obviously, they got the Greek Freak, so you know, they got the top tier talent that you need in order to compete and win a championship. And then, you know, they got the championship pedigree. They were just winning it all. Yeah. So them and Brooklyn coming out of the East, that's going to be a really, really good series if they make it together to be the clash of the Titans right there.
Okay. So that's what you think, Milwaukee. I mean, you said you don't believe in James Harden, but I guess you got to be a solid believer in that boy KD. Right now. Okay. KD gonna get him there. So you like Brooklyn and Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals?
So we at with Chicago though, man. Like, you know, they're second out there. You know, are they a contender?
I think they're a pretender. Yeah, I don't think they have the top tier talent that it takes to win at the highest NBA level.
Nah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I like what Chicago's done, man, but I feel like they're a regular season team.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to be one of those. They make the playoffs, and they're just not going to have enough to get past. I mean, they may even get eliminated in the first round, depending on who they play. If they play a team that has some experience, like a Philadelphia or something like that, maybe even Boston.
Yeah.
They could lose in the first round. So I'm not excited to see Chicago go into these playoffs. I'm not putting my money on them.
Right, yeah.
They got hit pretty hard with Kobe right now. You know, they got DeMar, Kobe White, and
that's part of the season.
And Javonte Green, I believe all.
Yeah, they do got a few players out, so they could even slip in the standings. And, you know, obviously if they don't end up with a high with a high seeding, I don't really see Chicago making too much noise come playoff time, personally.
I'm just looking at the Washington Wizards, man. Like, I'm trying to be right in that call. Can he at least make the playoffs, man?
I mean, they're in there right now looking like the fifth seed, but looking like they got a tough matchup against Miami in the first round as of right now, man. You know,
Miami's they split it 2 weeks ago when it came to that Thursday-Saturday matchup between each other, so.
Yeah, it could be an interesting one come playoff time. All right, well, that's all the time we got for today. J Money, as usual, thanks for joining the show from the Kobe Corner.
Yeah, man, you already know, man. Look, like, subscribe, put your alerts on, man. We put, like the fitter says, hard work, man. We trying to give you content every single week, man. We took Thanksgiving off. Hope y'all was safe, had a good time, but definitely show the support. We appreciate your love.
And my man, Joey, thank you very much, man, for coming on the show. We appreciate your input. We appreciate your knowledge, man. And we appreciate the brand new music from JM3 Productions. Why don't you let them know where they can check you out, man?
You can find me on Instagram at JMax381.
All right. And as usual, thank you guys for watching, man. Make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube. Check us out at sportjv.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And for everybody who watch, I like to leave you guys on a little quote that my man Magic Johnson said. Talent is never enough. With a few exceptions, the best players are the hardest workers. Thank you guys for watching.